That's what I had to fix. Though. I said your guys' signal was really bad.
That's okay. I was trying to see if I could just...
There we go. Now our signal's straight.
I was trying to see if I, like, made a story, if I could put a link in it that people could click, but I think it's just, like, you can't do that at all unless you are famous. Which eventually we will. And that's...
So this link is, busted then. Because...
Just do it again. Just do it again right now.
Busted then. Because... I don't know, dude.
Yeah. No, I think this is the wrong one.
Then just let me know when you're done doing all that, and we'll get your show started.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right link, babe.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it is.
I told you there's a big delay. There's a big delay between real time and the link.
All right, well, I trust you. It's just there's a lot of us just looking at our phones.
I know.
Which we were doing.
Right.
When it was happening at the beginning.
Okay. So people won't be deterred by that? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter since it's live.
Yeah.
Well, and then when we finish it, I'll trim off the first part.
Cool.
That's what I did on your last one.
Okay.
Come on, man. I'm the producer.
I trust you,
So
brah.
I make the big bucks.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Real quick.
Oh, good.
This is
wait,
fun.
wrong podcast. Okay. Hey. Welcome to the Friendish podcast, guys. This is officially episode 1. I mean, we said episode 1 was last one, but that was actually like a pilot. This is for sure episode 1.
We got picked up, guys.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna throw out an explicit warning because we will be cursing, and if cursing doesn't offend you, we will be probably ASMRing this video with our eating. I'm just kidding. We already ate.
Yeah, we're not eating. I'll die.
We won't be. I'm just whispering into the mic. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if we want that market.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so what's this podcast about again? Oh, it's about friendship and food. We want to like help people make friends, and we want to be your friend because maybe we want friends too.
A few of them. A couple. Handful.
Yeah. I mean, I could always use more friends. Send us like your questions and we'll give you advice on friendship. If you got questions, like we want to help. We want to be your friends.
Or maybe you guys need to give us advice.
Yeah. I would laugh if the first long ass email we get is like, "Hey, so this is your relationship and you should really be evaluating it with that friend." Like but
our listeners can chat live with us.
Yeah.
And
hey, thanks, producer Derek.
And I can read questions to you.
Yes.
So right now, if you're watching this live, go join the chat, and I'll read them to you.
Yeah.
Definitely do that. Also, our email address, if you're curious, to send us spam or whatever you want, really. Mostly just questions, please.
Well, last episode, Bree asked for dick pics. So.
I know. We did not receive a single one. Darn.
Are you disappointed?
No, I mean, I could always look that shit up on the internet. So, it's pretty easy to find. Our email address, though, is friendishpodcast@gmail.com. And that's spelled FRINDISHPODCAST@gmail.com. Just a 1D. 1D. No double D. Yeah, tell us about your friends or any funny stories. That'd be cool, too. Like, if you have any funny stories about how you met your best friend. Because that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, any meet cutes?
Yeah. Oh, hey, like, you can also find us on the Time Spent Poorly Network. That's who's basically helping us do this. Thanks, boss.
Special shout out. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, go follow them on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. What else? Don't go to Facebook. We don't have a Facebook for this because
We probably never will.
yeah, we won't. Yeah.
But you can find this on the Time Spent Poorly Facebook.
Yeah, we do have a website too.
Yeah, and the website.
Timespentpoorly.fun.
Fun, because it's not fun unless you're spending time poorly.
Yeah. So, Kaitlin, how was your week?
Super short. I mean, we had New Year's. They really threw it off. And, yeah, but pretty great. I worked.
Did you work on New Year's?
No.
That's good.
Because remember, we were together.
That's right.
Episode
forgot.
0.
Episode 0.
Yeah. It was pretty great, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some work at Ampersand. I taught 2 cooking classes.
Cool.
Fans went crazy for that.
Yeah. Did you have any, like, embarrassing moments? Did you embarrass yourself at all? Or also, did you have any unruly classmates?
No. I didn't have... Well, no. Everyone, the private party that we had, they got down on some wine. I was really impressed. A lot of wine and a lot of beer was had that night. It was flowing, and it made it a lot of fun. But...
Did you partake?
No, I can't.
You can't drink on the job? This
Not
is
at that one.
America.
I know, right? I should be able to, but apparently they don't want me using knives and alcohol, even though I do it at home.
That's
so,
smart.
Right?
I mean...
Liability, I guess.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Oh, mine was also short. My job was a lot less fun than yours. It's just, yeah. I work at that lumber mill, so I trained a new person, and he was incredibly boring for a new person. I tried talking to him a lot. I was, like, asking him all these questions, because my go-to thing, like, I'm trying to be friends with this new guy.
Yeah.
Because I need more friends at work because I hate everyone. Shout out to my coworkers.
Future episode, we'll dive into that.
Yeah, so when new people arrive, I'm always like, here's my chance to not be a bitch. Like, come off like as a nice person again. Like, so I was like trying to talk to this guy about my go-to thing is like, hey, do you believe in ghosts? Or hey, do you believe in aliens? Because that's like a really good icebreaker for me with a lot of people because I could talk about that kind of shit for hours. And of course he's like, no, I don't believe in any of that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just be quiet the rest of the day.
You should have made him believe in ghosts.
I know. He was a National Guard guy, and so I think he was like really down to earth, but he was also really shy, so I don't know.
In the chat room, Hope Ho says, hi, Kaitlin and Bree. And then the next one says, I'm watching you, ...
Creepy.
So, thanks for watching.
Spooky.
Well, do you have any requests? This is a couch.
What?
We're being filmed on a couch.
Oh. I don't know where we're going with
I
this.
thought we were talking like a casting call.
It is a casting couch.
Oh, no.
A couch. Oh.
I've seen that website.
I mean,
this is not the same one.
Please, if anybody sees my tit slip out, I have tried adjusting this shirt. I would appreciate.
Make it a drinking game, guys. Every time you see a little nip slip, take a drink. You'll be on our level. I'm drinking rosé out of a Yeti mug, and it's full. And you're welcome, everyone.
I've got basically the same drink we drank last time because it's my go-to.
And it's probably delightful.
It is.
There's a rosé sale going on, and I stocked up last night.
I would have gone and done that if I had known. Also, I can't drink wine.
Girl, you got time.
I do?
Yeah, they do it, and he's going to do it until it's gone. And last night he had 20 cases. We bought 3. Another man bought 1, so he's down to 16.
Who's we?
Me and Maggie.
Okay.
My roommate.
I thought maybe it was your work.
Oh, no. But I'll tell you guys more about Maggie later.
Cool.
And Hope.
Yeah, I would go spend a bunch of money on wine. Believe me, I could easily spend money on wine. But I just spent like a shit ton of money on my hobby, which is fish tanks and animals. Basically.
Tanks. Empty fish tanks, guys.
I have 1 empty fish tank, and it's about to be not empty.
I didn't know that. I was just being an ass.
And I have another empty fish tank that I've converted into a frog thing. But I don't have any frogs yet, so it's to be continued.
Frog friends.
And then I got 2 other tanks. We just bought 2 betas because every time I walk past betas in the store, I'm always just like, I get sad. And I'm like, these guys need rescued. So I bought a whole nother big ass tank for betas, and I have like a separating thing so they don't kill each other.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of our week, what was your favorite thing you ate this week?
Ooh. Sorry. I get excited.
Just thinking about it?
I know, because it's like one of my favorite things to do during the week is cook something, because it's like I don't get to do many creative things unless I have energy, which I never do. But I always have energy to cook because you got to eat.
Yeah, you do.
So earlier in the week, I made like a steak stir fry, which was really good. Like really good. But it didn't make such good leftovers is what I figured out.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it was like when in the moment it was fucking delicious, but the next day when I was trying to get it at lunch at work, I was like, not that hungry. And
It's not doing it.
Last night, though, my favorite was we had tacos, which I posted on our Instagram. And since we're trying to eat better because we're going to get married in June and stuff, so we're trying to cut carbs. So instead of tortilla shells, we just used like a cabbage leaf. And those are so fucking delicious. I love cabbage so much. I could eat it plain. It tastes good plain.
Yeah,
it just tastes good boiled. I will eat like a cabbage soup with just like cabbage and onions.
No salt, no pep.
I mean salt. Yeah, you need salt. But
not for Bree. Just when you become poor, you can just eat cabbage water.
You could.
Yeah.
If you have onions.
And welcome to Ireland. Oh, what's for dinner again tonight, Mum? More cabbage, you say?
We
Lovely.
have cabbage, and cabbage is cheap. So is onions. And I like affordable meals. I feel like people definitely take for granted how cheap vegetables actually are.
Yes.
And I know that it seems like going to a store and buying like a box of pasta, like, oh my god, this box of pasta is only 48 cents. What a deal. And you get home and you eat it and you feel like shit.
Yeah.
And like you could have just made something for like a cabbage costs probably 48 cents, maybe.
Well, when I shop for work and I'm buying the stuff for class, like we have a budget. We're supposed to say under $75 for the stuff that we're buying from the store that's not at our store. But anytime when it's basically, a lot of times I tend to use just a lot of produce and then maybe one protein. But I'm always shocked, again, like I'm feeding 10 people. That's how many people are in my class. I'm feeding 10 people for less than $50, and there's always leftovers just because the produce.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah,
that's like
people think it's expensive to eat healthy, and it's not, guys. Eat your vegetables.
Vegetables are so good, especially if you just fry them up a little bit, put some olive oil and some salt on them.
Good olive oil, not fraudulent.
Yeah, you can't like go wrong with cheese either. Yeah, vegetables and cheese is good.
I love cheese. It makes me.
When I lived in Ireland, cheese was my staple because they didn't have what was it? They didn't have mustard. Or they didn't have like certain things that I was like
normal condiments.
Yeah, so I would always in the mornings for breakfast have like scrambled eggs and bacon. And their bacon is different over there. It's like thicker, and it's not I mean, it probably doesn't have the shit that causes cancer in it, which is why it's different. But it was really good. Yeah, and so I'd have like scrambled eggs, and I'd sprinkle cheese on top of it. And the people in my house, because I was in like a, what's it called? Like it was like a communal thing. Everybody was there for the same reason, but like we rarely saw each other. But when we did, like they'd be like, "Oh my god, why are you putting cheese on your eggs, you fucking weirdo?" And I'd be like, "It's so good, you guys don't even know." And they're like, "Wow, you're such a fucking American."
You're like, back in America, we put cheese on our ice cream. We put it on everything.
Wait, do?
I made Parmesan ice cream the other day.
You made Parmesan?
It was so good.
Sounds disgusting.
I've seen American cheese on apple pie.
Oh yeah, that's.
Sorry.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Also,
I want to try that pickle ice cream.
Look at Sable's butt, everyone watching.
Can you see Sable's butt?
I'm also
one
of those disgusting people that will get a Frosty from Wendy's
and dip your fries.
Dip a fry in
Dude,
that's not disgusting.
That's not disgusting at all. That's so
sweet and salty, baby.
Exactly, our palates love that.
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to my own bullshit.
Boom, roasted. To yourself.
Cool, so, hey, let's address this listener question we got last week.
We got it this week from our last episode.
Yeah. That.
We got it today, technically.
So, what was the question about, and who was it from?
So, if you go to our Instagram, guys, we have an Instagram. It's Friendish Pod. Yeah, that's it. It's just called Friendish Pod. And we are posting a bunch of stuff on there, so you can see what we're doing. We'll post even more content, but you can comment. And we got a comment today from Mind Your Cues podcast, which is actually a good friend of ours, Tori. We know her from the art gallery, and she's our friend, and we love her.
And her podcast is really good. You guys should give it a listen.
Yeah, also that. Better, yes. So, like we said, Mind Your Cues is what it is. Anyway, so she was listening to our podcast, and
Tori has a podcast?
yeah, Mind Your Cues.
You didn't know this?
Shout out, no.
Yeah, surprise.
Cool.
Not surprised. I knew this.
Welcome to the community. Surprise to me.
So she was referencing when we were talking about making friends and being on Instant Messenger. So she said, do you think the novelty of AIM and Yahoo Messenger wore off because we're obligated to answer people all the time thanks to smartphones in our pockets? What do you think?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I never thought about it like that, but I feel like phones really have replaced computers in a lot of ways. I remember being obsessed with my computer from 2008 till about 2013.
Yeah, that's about me.
And I have a really, really, really nice laptop. Like a really nice laptop that I spent a lot of money on, and I'm not proud of it. I have two. One for Derek and one for me. And mine is like a really nice gaming one. But I rarely get on it anymore unless I need to use Photoshop or do something for like graphic design, or if I want to draw something digitally. Sometimes I'll get on there and I'll play League of Legends because I'm a shitty person.
Lol.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Plus, I mean, now with our phones, like, we can text. So we don't need to wait for someone to be online. Like, through MSN, where we're just waiting to see and watch people sign in and into the chat rooms. So we can just, if we're like, I'm curious, we can text them immediately, or we have all the other avenues like Instagram, Facebook,
There's
Twitter.
so many social medias
Literally
now.
a million.
I do kind of miss, though, like, when I first started having a computer, I didn't get my first, it wasn't even my computer, it was like a family computer that sat out in the dining room so everybody could use it.
Yeah.
And it was in
That's
2008. And I remember getting on there and just being obsessed with, like, the MySpace chats and Omegle and all those shitty places that you can find some really creepy people.
Yes.
But, like, you made online friends that way pretty easily. Like, I had some for a long time. Or, like, even like, this wasn't a chat platform, but it was a website that I used to use quite often, which was DeviantArt, which I'm pretty sure is dead. Like,
I've wondered about that.
yeah, I don't get on there anymore because it's notorious for, like, people getting on there and stealing your art. So I don't use that anymore. But I used to use it to keep in contact, weirdly enough, with some of my artist friends that I made through Omegle.
Got a lot of things happening right here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm situated now.
But, like, the anonymous, I don't know how to say, anonymity. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Yeah, anonymousness that came
We're
with
smart,
chat rooms.
educated women.
Yeah, we know what the word is. We just have a hard time saying it. But, like, getting
Hey,
on...
man, I know words. I just don't say them real good.
But, like, getting on those chats and being able to talk with strangers who don't know that you're a shitty 13-year-old or a shitty 15-year-old, and they, like, talk to you like a normal human being for a while until they realize that all of the things that you're typing are definitely from a 15-year-old, like, because you're just using too many winky faces. I don't know. It was fun back then, and you got to kind of imagine what they looked like in your head. Like, you had this image of what they looked like, because a lot of times they never had profile pictures like Facebook does. And Facebook is purely for connecting people who are already connected with each other. So you never really get to meet strangers. Hardly.
I've met a few strangers on Facebook.
Oh, that's probably because they, like, went deep diving into friends of friends
did.
of friends.
Yeah,
like,
it was that weird, and then probably, like, accidentally added me. You know, you ever accidentally add someone, you're like, well, it's been long enough. They're going to see the friend thing. Like, I can't take it back. It's weird. Okay.
I know. I think Facebook actually got better. I got wise to that and how annoying that would be. So I think they took that away. If you'd canceled the friend request, it does go away now. I don't know for sure because I don't use Facebook anymore, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is now because it is embarrassing to accidentally send a friend request to somebody you don't want to send it to.
Did either of you, like, if you see a mutual friend on Facebook when you were using it, there's sometimes where I would see somebody, if they had, like, 80 mutual friends, I was one of those people who would be like, why don't I know this person already? And I would request them as a friend.
Oh,
like, we have 80
definitely.
Mutual friends. How have I never crossed your path?
Especially in this valley. It's like, and if you look at those friends, they're like, a good chunk of these people are the people I see daily or I go out with or whatever. So I've done that before.
But then you have to wonder, like, why haven't they mentioned that person? Or maybe they have and you're just like, you just don't connect the dots. I don't know. I'm not very good with names.
Well, I think you guys had mentioned that you'd want to talk about this on a future episode. It might have been while on the show or off of the show. But don't you have groups of friends that don't know each other?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yes.
You got to keep them separate sometimes.
I have two very close friends, very, very close friends who have maybe met each other maybe one time. I honestly can't recall if they have. And I've just never made it an effort to introduce them. Do you have that? I know, especially with, like, work and personal.
So when we kind of dive in about our best friends, I was actually thinking about this today. They've met and they know each other, but they don't regularly hang out. And the three people that I was going to kind of, like, talk about, two of them have hung out a couple times, you know, or two at a time have hung out. But, like, as a group, these three people who are so important in my life and that I talk to or see pretty regularly do not, like, they're not texting each other. You know, they are pretty separate, which I do find interesting.
Yeah.
They know about each other.
So I hope that, like, kind of, like, talking about it kind of answered your question, Tori. And if it didn't, like, obviously we'll see you in person at one point so we can talk about it more. But yeah, I think we should move on and talk about some of our best friends. And I really want to know how, like, you met them and kind of, like, if you can remember what broke the ice and, like, really made you guys connect. So you go first.
Okay. So I kind of made some notes because I don't want to forget these things. So the people that, like I said, which I kind of was thinking about it. So I got Raquel, and I got Hope, and I got Maggie. So three people that are very important in my life that I text daily or see. Like, Maggie I live with. Raquel I see pretty often. Hope's moved to Pullman, so we don't see each other as much, but we Snapchat all the time.
I love those kinds of friendships where you can Snapchat every day.
Yes, that's something we do, and then we text, you know, periodically. But I was kind of thinking about all of these friends, and Maggie and Raquel, definitely extroverts, and Hope, who's an introverted, but she leans more towards the extroverted side. So I thought
so she makes friends with extroverts, or she's like, she can blend in with extroverts?
Yeah, she blends in, you know, and her husband's an extrovert, and she, if there's, like, a line, her introverted side is getting closer to that extroverted side than I am. Like, I'm way far introverted, while she's almost teetering over the edge of could almost be an extrovert. So I thought that was interesting that these people, and maybe that's why I became their friends. It's because they're like, hey girl. But, so do you want me to tell you about all of them? Or you want me to tell about one? Then you
tell me, like, the pros and cons of, I guess that's not a very nice thing to do. I have, like, a pros and cons of the friends.
Well, I kind of broke it down on, like, how I met them.
And how. Yeah, I have how.
How long we've been friends, how we've maintained our friendships, and, like, have we gone through any hard times.
Yeah, I think that's what the cons was.
Okay,
like, the hard times, and you guys are still friends after it all, so I think that's a really good thing to go over.
So, like, I'll just kind of, I gotta break them all. I gotta talk about them individually. So we can kind of go back.
What are your three categories? I have, like, 3 categories of friends here, but different
Oh, I just picked the 3 people, like, 3
awesome.
super...
Way simpler than mine.
Important. Yeah, like, I figured we're gonna talk about different types of friends in the future.
Oh, for sure.
As far as, like,
I went too in-depth, guys.
No, I can go deeper. This is just how what I went for. Yeah, yeah, I can go deeper.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So, what do you think and what do you want me to tell you?
You just wing it. You know what? Let's just go with what our own form. We wrote it different because we're different people, so you go with yours.
Okay, so like I was saying, I was thinking about these people, like Raquel, who's extroverted, super hard worker. She's very compassionate. She is for sure a leader.
See, I thought Raquel was a boy's name, so I apologize.
Nope, she is a female that loves
Are
other
all of
females.
your best friends female on your list?
The 3 people I'm talking about, yeah. They're
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird because I think I mentioned last time, like, I get along with males usually more than females, so it is kind of surprising that I...
And you seem to be wanting to talk about, like, extroverts and introverts a lot. And one more time, could you say what you are?
I'm an INFJ.
Okay. So you're introverted quite a bit.
Yeah.
Even though you are a lot like Hope, where I think you can blend in.
Yeah.
But I think that's also comes from your customer service.
I think so too, because before I did customer service, I definitely was like, oh, let me hide back here a little bit more. So Raquel and I, like, we became friends in high school, so that means we've been friends for like 13 plus years.
How old are you?
I'm 27. I'll be 28 in March, so I had to think about it.
That's young.
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah, we're a bunch of babies over here.
Yeah. I'm
She's
25.
She's a baby.
On that side.
Yeah, on this side of the room. Ugh. I'm not talking about Derek. Like I said, we've been friends for a long time. Our biggest thing was, I don't know what grade I would have been in, because she was 3 years older than me in high school. So she graduated, so I've been like, I think it was my I was going into sophomore year. She decided she was moving to Boston, and she came to my work and told me, and was just, I'm going to Boston. And basically, like, she moved in like 2 or 3 days. It was so fast.
Dude, that's really commendable.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. She knew she needed to get out of the valley. She got a job over there. And I was so excited for her and so happy, but it didn't, like, it was hard for me to process she's leaving. A person that I see regularly, and a person that's really close with my mom, which was really important to me because she was sick when I was in high school. So Raquel was such a great person to have in my life, and she was just like, I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, you're gonna go, and then I was like, oh shit, she's gone, like, you're not here. And what was weird is then I finished high school, I moved to college, she was still living on the East Coast, I was in Seattle, and we talked, but very, very, very minimally, like, hardly. It was not, like, we didn't stay in contact, I would say, like, if
sometimes it's hard. Like, talking to some people online is really, really hard compared to when you get together.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just, we weren't people that communicated that way. That's not how our friendship worked. And so then she got married. Her and her wife moved to Ohio. I moved back to the valley.
Holy shit, she's married already?
No, she's not anymore.
Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt.
No, that's okay. So she was. So
she's the same age as you, right?
No, she's 4 years older than me. 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. But then recently she moved back when her grandpa died, and our friendship, the best part about it, which made me, this is why I like picked her as one of these people, is she was here and nothing had changed. It was like I had been with her over there, or we knew, even though we weren't texting, we weren't communicating, I just was involved in her life and somehow enough to know, like, and our friendship just continued. And now she's here, and we see each other 3 or 4 times a week, and we text
That's awesome.
daily. And
does she come into your work? How do you see her?
Yeah, so she comes into my work with her grandma sometimes. We go out to Hogan's a lot. Shout out to Hogan's again. Yeah, we go out to eat, and then we like to just hang out at each other's houses. We go shopping. We just kind of, she's one of those people, which Hope and Maggie fit into these categories, that you can do nothing with. So you can do the really mundane, like, I just have to go grocery shopping. You can just sit and watch Netflix. Your friendship doesn't have to be...
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Right? Like, where you don't have to be doing something for it to be working.
Just being in each other's presence.
Yes, and that's what I realized, like, as a friend, that's what I really, really like.
Is she the type of person that you could sit in a car and, like, like turn off the car and just have a conversation with, because you don't want to like get inside the house yet. Like you're in the middle of a fucking deep conversation.
Yeah.
Like a personal.
Where you just are like, we thought we were done hanging out, but something came up, and
yes. You're dropping them off.
Yeah,
and
you're like, oh
wait.
shit, we've been here for another hour.
We've
been
in the car for an hour.
Do we have to go to bed now?
Yeah, I love those friendships so much. I
miss
those.
It's so sad. Like I feel like I text her all the time. I'm always like, let's hang out, because she is one of those people. Like she's not in a relationship. She doesn't have children, and so she is, other than work and her other just things, she's like really available to spend time with. And so I'm always like, hang out with me.
I'm curious to know, like, what kind of stuff do you guys talk about when you're at Hogan's? Like, is it personal stuff, or are you guys reminiscing, or are you guys talking about current events or pop culture or work or what?
Our reminiscing is pretty minimal, even though we've known each other for so long. Like, it comes up every once in a while, but it's a lot of current stuff, what's going on in our daily lives, whether that's a big issue at work, whether it's she's redecorating her room, so that's a huge topic right now, is what colors, what chairs, what is she doing here. I'm talking, we talk about what we've ate that week, or if she's, does Blue Apron or HelloFresh, one of those things, not an ad. And so, it's pretty great. But then we also, current events. We talk about a lot of things, like, in the future, what we want to do together. Aww. Which is really great because we hold each other accountable because we say those things. So
nice.
Whether it's she was working on meditating and doing more yoga, and I like to do those things. So it was kind of like, have you been doing that? Have you been going to the gym? Do
you guys do those things together?
No, but we said we should because she was having a hard time, doing it. And I have a hard time getting up in the morning. I just want to lay in bed and not go to work.
Yeah.
Even though I have the time to do that. So we're like, either we should do it together, or we should pick a plan, and then we can hold each other accountable, or we can do it together. Either way. Yeah. So, kind of talk about
what's the one thing you guys think, like, what's the one draw that you guys both have in common with each other? Like, what's the common ground factor with your friendship? Like, what's the one thing you could be like, oh, I'm friends with her because...
Oh, this one's kind of dark. I don't know, but it falls around divorce and death. Like, honestly, that's a big thing that's brought us closer. We've both lost someone extremely important in our lives, and the person that, built us and raised us in the last couple years, and we both got divorced. So because of that, it's bonded us, even though we had that friendship and that wasn't really it, but it's kept us closer. Like we just now can relate to each other in a different way than I can with other people.
For sure.
So now I feel like that one's like kind of a dark part of it.
I don't know.
Really
I think a lot of dark
things,
like tragedy, trauma, those things bring people really close together.
Yeah.
If they've experienced the same thing.
Definitely. And so, and then because that's like, if we're having a day that it is being affected by that, like, we know we can lean on each other and we can talk about it and we can grieve for our losses in both our relationships and the people. And we have that person there who gets it and understands, which is really nice to have. And I think, like I said, that's why what brought us even closer together. And we've both dealt with mental illness. So, like, I've had, anxiety and depression, and same with her, and we've both gone through. And so talking about therapy and things like that also, she's super knowledgeable on it, and we've both gone through it. So it's also
the empathy is there.
Yeah. So that's what I would say is probably the thing that keeps us together the most now, and probably will forever. Like, I think those things, because we've gone through those, and because we went through them
around the same time,
which is so insane.
Dude, that's
in the last 2.5 years, those are two things that were happening to both of us. So that now I feel like she's stuck with me forever. She's cemented in, which sucks because I know she's gonna move in a couple years. Like, she's not meant to be in the valley. She needs to be a big city, which is why I think I'm like, hang out with me, because last time I didn't have time to think about her leaving. This time I actually
Do you think you'll move eventually?
I've thought about it, and I mean, I love being in a big city. But then for some reason, like, the valley still is holding me here, so.
Yeah, I feel ya. I used to be really resentful of living here.
Me too.
Because people used to call you a lifer and stuff like that. And I'd be like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, there's nothing wrong with this valley. I know there's shitty people here, but there's shitty people in every town, every city. Like, you're gonna find something that's you don't like. And,
yeah,
like, the people actually aren't even that bad half the time. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if anything, you can just make fun of them, you know, to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
And I thought, like, probably the next place, if I were to move out of the valley, it'd be Moscow or Pullman.
I know a lot of people move to Moscow and Pullman as, like, an escape tactic. And I know that a lot of people move there as an excuse to get away from shitty people here in the valley, because the valley tends to have a reputation of being more of a conservative town.
Mm-hmm.
And so they moved to Moscow and Pullman as, like, a cop-out, which I think is kind of like, I don't know. I don't think that you can cure anxiety or depression by moving to a new city.
No.
Basically.
And
I've had friends that have done that, and if it's made their life better, then that's cool. But I do think that, I don't know. I would love to live in Moscow and Pullman if I was single. Like, like, that's a good place to go and be and, like, meet people and fuck people and, like, it's a good place. You have to admit, like, there's some kinky ass people up in those towns.
In Moscow?
Pullman, Moscow, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody down here is just like, let's do doggy. Like,
but also, besides the sex, which I think you're right, based on the people I know that live there.
Yeah.
Moscow and Pullman is far enough, but they have a whole different atmosphere. They have a better restaurants. They have different shopping. So,
more diversity.
Like, I wouldn't say moving there is going to cure the, like, valley blues that people have living here. Like, you have to work on yourself to be able to do that. But I do understand people who still like the region and or have family in this area and they don't want to move, but they need something different than just the culture in the valley.
They need new people.
Yeah.
They need, it's the only bad thing is like, it's actually really affordable to live here.
Yes.
It is not so affordable to live 25 miles away for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, the Palouse, the Moscow area is gorgeous. It really is. It's a really gorgeous place to live. But it is expensive.
I've always looked at it as I got to be happy with the culture of what's happening in my own four walls before I have to start focusing on the culture of what's happening in the community around me.
100%.
If I'm miserable at home, maybe I really need to evaluate.
Yeah, focus on yourself and why that is and what you actually need.
I have, like, something in my eye.
Maybe it's your finger.
It's an eyelash. It's definitely an eyelash. The only thing that ever gets stuck in my eye.
So let's go back. Let's go back and forth a little bit. Why don't you tell us about one of your friends?
All right. Well, I have the top of my list are my best friends, which they're in the room right now.
It's not me.
Well, eventually, we are working on our friendship. Also, you're kind of in the second like tier of friends. But my best friends are Sable and Derek. Derek should probably be first on the list. Yeah. So, you know, you gotta be best friends with the person you're marrying. Otherwise, what are you marrying that person for?
Amen.
Yeah. So, we're a team. That's what I have listed as a pro. We're always team players. Got each other's backs. The only con I have for you is you're not a woman. I need, like, a female friend. I need, like, a feminine entity in my life. And that's what I'm getting out of you a lot of the time now, because I don't have a lot of women in my life. I feel like I work with all men basically, and even the two women that I work with are very manly, and I'm very manly. So yeah, you know, it's nice to have somebody who's girly and stuff in my life.
Well, now you have to tell us how you and Derek met. I mean, you gotta really. I know you're a little bit more than friends, but you gotta spill, guys.
We had mutual friends on Facebook.
You know, I think that, like, I think the reason we worked out for both me and, like, Sable too, like, my dog, the reason she's one of my best friends is because after a really bad breakup, I was just like, one of the things that I used to fight about with an ex was having a pet. Like, I wanted a dog or a cat. And he was like, oh, I'm allergic. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, you're not giving me affection. Like, I want something. And I immediately after he dumped me, sad times. I just went and got a dog because I was like, I'm not even a dog person. I'm a cat person at heart. But I told myself, I'll just find a dog that's the closest dog breed to a cat. And I found this Pomeranian. And she's super nice and she's very loyal, which I love. Just like Derek. Loyal.
Oh. I'm like a cat.
He is more like a cat. For sure.
You have to earn my love.
Yeah.
You're just constantly knocking her shit over.
You can wrap Bree's t-shirt around a bundle of sticks, and that dog will love that.
Yeah. Yeah, she always like steals my socks. She doesn't chew them up, but she puts them under the bed. She at the end of the week, I have to dig out all my socks from under my bed because she'll make a rat's nest out of them. And I'm like, why? Why do you steal my socks? Like one at a time. And it's because she likes the smell of me, I think. I don't know. Anyways,
she feels comfortable.
Let's not talk about my feet. The nice thing about Sable is she has a tiny brain. She helped me through dark times. And the con is she barks. That's annoying.
A lot.
I love her, but her barks, I'm always just like, shut up! You're embarrassing me! Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We met through breakup too. Like I was, after I got dumped, I was like out on the town all the time, living it up with them single ladies that were not very good friends at the time. They did not promote a very healthy lifestyle, but I saw you at a bar, kind of talked to you. I think I brushed you off quite a few times. Yeah, I did. Like, I brushed you off outside of a grocery store when I was buying a shit ton of beer. Yep. You were like, hey, and I was like, huh? I was like, who is that?
We literally had been texting for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then they said hi, and you just like walked by.
So what do you think?
Oh, that's like what we talked about last week, where you talk to people online, and then you see them in real life, you're like,
yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, she's introverted.
I think we matched on Tinder.
We matched on Tinder.
Didn't really.
On Tinder one time, but we didn't talk on there.
No.
Not even one time.
But you matched, which meant.
Yeah, so we were at least
I would have tapped that.
Superficially attracted.
Yeah. You did.
Then, but I think the biggest thing is we had mutual friends.
We did, and we
both went to the same college.
Yeah, we went on a couple walks because that's all you can do in a small town. There's no activities. You just walk. Mm-hmm. You find a pretty place, a park to walk.
We do have those.
And we have pretty parks that we walk through, and so that's what we did. We did that when we walked quite a ways. Like we did the bridge loop, one bridge to the other, which is about 7 miles.
Yeah, I do know distinctly that you, in the time I've known you, have never had a ton of pictures on any of your social media. But we had mutual friends on Facebook, and we started talking, and I saw your cartoons, and I wanted you to draw a picture of myself and my cat, because I wanted to use it for my website and stuff that I was working on.
Yes.
You
only like me for my art.
It's so sweet, though.
On what would eventually become this. So yeah. I initially was looking for
This is the whole point of the relationship, is to make a podcast, guys.
Right. This is it. We did it.
Yeah, I drew that a while ago.
Oh.
That's old.
That's what I know, but that's what eventually came from it. I wanted a picture with my cat.
Yeah.
So I could use it as like a profile picture for doing my podcast.
Yeah, so them's my BFFs, the ones that I can tell anything to.
What do you and Derek talk about?
Can I give some shout-outs real quick?
Me and Derek?
Yeah.
While we're on the topic?
As he pulls up his tiny little notepad.
I want to give a shout-out to Jared, who I've been friends with for... I've been sitting here doing the math. I want to give a shout-out to Jared, who I've been friends with for 22 years. I want to give a shout-out to...
Derek's aging himself.
Dylan, who I've been friends with for 24 years.
Derek is 45.
No,
I'm just kidding.
and then my more recent friends, a shout out to Zach, 12 years. He's the co-host of Sports Program, and then Adam, 13 years. Nathan, 11 years.
Those are some pretty close friends of yours too. Yeah. They're all gonna be in the wedding.
Obviously, the 24 plus, we've been friends since grade school.
Yeah.
I was friends with Jared when I was 12. I knew him before I was 12, but we became.
Shout out to Jared. I really love Jared.
Yeah, and J-Rod. Yeah. Jared. 22 years.
Jared.
So the only reason why I wanted to point that out is because I love, like, you guys are talking about these friends, but I do feel like there is, well, maybe one of these episodes you always want to talk about the difference between guys and
we'll bring it up,
gals.
Oh, yeah,
on,
I got stuff
on how
on.
they have friends, because I've been friends with the same core group of, I mean, I could throw Thomas in here, too. I've been friends with since sophomore year of high school, and a couple other friends.
Well, the next group of friends I'm talking about are friends that you've introduced me to.
Right. See, so then that, I like that, too. But I do think it's interesting that, like, guys do seem to have an easier time hanging on to friends that we've had since we were in grade school. That you talked about how you didn't like miss a beat with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my friend Dylan, who has a few kids and he's married, and whenever I hang out with him, which is very infrequent, we still make jokes that we used to make in junior high.
Yeah.
And it's like we never missed it. Never missed a beat.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to me. So, sorry, go ahead.
Your turn.
Okay, so I'm still going on my path. I got those 3 people. My core ladies. So Hope has always been a consistent person in my life as far as, since we became friends, and like a constant person. Like I said, we don't get to see each other as much. I'm laughing because Bree's eating a chip.
I put the mic away.
But we find ways to, like, stay in each other's life. And really, like, it's one of those friendships where we snap every day. We tag each other in. Yeah, we can hear you.
You can still hear me? I'm sorry. That's hers. I'm sorry. I gave a chip to Sable.
Apparently we are attracting those ASMR people. We're going to have to hashtag it, and get more followers.
I apologize. I did not mean to interrupt. Those chips are just right in front of me.
We are going to hashtag ASMR.
Yeah, I mean, this is our one and only forever that we'll hashtag it.
For sure. Maybe.
Man, I'm so hung up on your chips now.
I apologize. I am so sorry. They're just so good, and I had that sandwich of yours, which was delicious. You made, like, a good, like, what you would make. What's it called again? What's the sandwich called again?
A banh mi.
You made a banh mi for, which is...
You can have chips.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you made that sandwich for, like, what you would make your friends if your friends came over. And I just made fucking bean dip. Because I'm like, I'm not going to cop out yet and make pizza. Or order pizza, you know.
Delightful, though. I ate it, and I'm going to eat more after this.
I know. I can't wait to eat the other half of that sandwich. It's so good. Anyways. Hope. Hello, Hope. You commented, and I'm sorry we interrupted your bit.
She's again, actually. She said, Moscow is insanely cheap. Pullman is not.
Oh.
She lives on the Pullman side. I hope she's okay with me telling everyone that.
Is it because Moscow is full of slumlords?
Where specifically?
Her address is and social security number. So, okay, we got limited time, apparently. Okay, we do a little quick. So we met in high school. We knew each other in junior high, knew each other in high school, but we weren't really friends. I wouldn't say we didn't dislike each other. We just didn't hang out. And then we were in an art class where we had to sit together. And then she was a cheerleader, and she's all cute. And I was a little nerdy band nerd. And in a way, like, we kind of formed this alliance. Our graduating class was a bunch of fucking douches in high school. And they just made it so difficult to do things at, like... At basketball games or pep rallies.
Because you had tits?
That they were douchebags?
Were they douchebags? Did they make it difficult because you had tits?
Oh, no. It was also the women. They just didn't want to do anything. They'd rather just sit there and do nothing and not move. While, like, Hope and I being, like, me being a marching band, her being a cheerleader, we wanted to bring the class together. We would try to do that whole...
Oh, the pep rally thing.
Yeah. So in that sense, they just were like, they'd rather just sit in our way and be a bunch of bums on a log versus actually have fun. So that kind of, like, connected us. Because I was so nervous around Hope. Like, she was so cute, and she
that
was
always
so
makes
funny.
It so scary.
I know.
When they're cute.
And she was so funny and weird. But like I said, she was like a cheerleader, and I had like a misconception. I was like, I mean, she's cooler than me.
When a cheerleader is nice, that is both frustrating, intimidating, and it just, it just, like, gets those juices flowing.
And not that she was just a cheerleader, but she did, a lot of things, and she knew a lot of people in high school. And so when we sat by each other in class, like, I was kind of like, okay, yeah. But then somehow we became friends. Like, it just happened. Like, I can't remember the moment we became friends. Maybe she can. But it just happened, and it was great. And I loved it because she was weird, and then that made me feel like I could be as weird as I wanted, and people wouldn't care. Like, sometimes I felt like I tried to hold my weirdness back, but she was just like, this is who I am, and I'm goofy and funny and smart and intelligent, and people, like, it respected her and wanted to listen to her, and I looked up to her so much because of that. So then I immediately moved to Seattle, and what's so great is she would come visit me, and we would go to the zoo and go out and eat fancy dinners and get tattoos together.
Whoa.
We've actually got...
That's friendship.
We have one matching tattoo that I drew for us that we both have. But then we've probably got 6+ tattoos together. Like, different tattoos, different meanings, all that stuff. But at the same time. So that was really how we just did weird things together. We've traveled a lot together, which has kept us really close, and we see eye to eye on a lot of things. We have a lot of similar views. And I was in her wedding, and I love her husband. We're really good friends too, so I like to pretend I'm their second wife. It's really fun for me.
Sister wives?
Yep. We've been saying that one for a while. But I just like that our friendships, we're just super real in who we are, and we can be really honest, and we're not afraid of, like, offending each other.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's the best kind of friendship too, is when you can say whatever the fuck you want.
And I saw something today which kind of made me think, and this is kind of how I was thinking, like, who are my friends? So it was from Young Pablo, an author, but it says attributes of a good friend: they feel like home, they're honest with you, they remind you of your power, they support you in healing, they have a rejuvenating presence, they hold a vision of your success, they support you in new adventures, they lift you up with joy and laughter, they bring out the best version of you. And I think I can check all of those off for the people that I'm really close with.
I definitely agree with all of that.
Yeah.
And I've had that with best friends all throughout my life. But I definitely think we should bring up that kind of stuff next episode too, about where the things begin to fail.
Yeah. And like how you lose those parts. Because what's really nice is Hope has always been one of my biggest supporters in whatever I do. And she's always supporting my cooking, obviously, and my art. And she shows up for my art shows and my art walks. And
having somebody who can,
in
like,
her house and talks about me. And, like, and I try to do the same for her. But it's just being able to, like, looking back and all those things she's done for me is just like, oh shit, like, she's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think having somebody who can also just be a critic too, like being able to just be super honest with you and blunt is nice. And if it doesn't hurt your feelings, but it does make you realize something, then I think that's a really good friend.
Yeah, and she's one of those people that, like, if you say, I'm gonna do this, or this is my opinion, or whatever, she'd be like, why? Okay, what's your plan? What are you gonna do? Why is it this way? And also gives you her opinion and her side of it, but not in a way that feels judgmental or you feel like you're wrong, but in a way that's just like, I'm supporting you.
Oh, hey, I didn't know I needed this advice.
Yeah, like, you need this in your life, too.
Yeah.
Our hardest time, honestly, was we lived together and worked together the same job.
Oh,
and the job
shit.
was a little interesting dynamic. Like, it was all friends that worked with us. It was her boyfriend at the time and a couple other people that we went to high school with. My brother was there for a little bit. Luke's brother was there for a bit. Her mom owned it. So it was just a super interesting dynamic, and we were all babies. We were under 21. And we lived together, so we spent a lot of time together. And now that I look back, I've, like, thought about it, I was like, I think I could work with Hope again because we respect each other so much, and we have, like I said, we have similar views, but we were just too young. But that really put some strain on our relationship.
If you see each other 24/7, that's tough.
Yeah.
That would be tough on anybody. That's why parents and kids don't get along.
Well, and it was tough too, and, she was the manager there, so she was the one, but also, like, I had a vision of what I wanted to have happen in the kitchen side of it, and she had a vision, And neither of us were wrong, and neither of them were bad things, but our communication skills in a business level was nothing like it would, because again, we were young and never really done that before. But we made it, and we're still here. She's watching us. I don't know if she still is. I'm embarrassed that she's hearing me just gush all over.
You are my sister wife.
See? I didn't make it up. It's real. It's real life.
Cha.
It's real life. Do you want to talk about the food that we made a little bit before we... Or do you want... No, you go talk about your part and then we'll do our food.
I'll go really quickly on my second group of friends. I've got these friends that I've tried to make in the past year. Like I said, my New Year's resolution for 2018 was make new friends, and try to become close with people that I haven't met before, or, that kind of stuff. Derek introduced me to a really, really cool group of friends. Katie, Annie, Samantha, Julianne. I haven't really gotten to know Julianne too much yet. She seems more introverted than I am. Or we are both equally introverted.
Yeah.
And then just avoid each other. It's just fine. I'm not going to force anything on anybody. But Katie's really cool. She's, really heavy into Wiccan, and she's kind of, brought me into her coven. And I'm not Wiccan. I'm pretty agnostic. But I do appreciate her involving me into that whole thing and me learning a lot, and I like hanging out with them.
That's my my group of girlfriends that I had when I don't feel like being a manly person. So I get to hang out with them and send them memes. They're a very welcoming group of people.
They are. They're cool. Really chill.
They're very cool.
Also, I really like Katie's probably best friend, Jake. Jake's really cool. His husband's really cool, and so is Katie's sister, Emily. They're all very, very nice. I'm hoping to do a pottery class with Annie. But speaking of pottery, I also have a new friend that I made this year, Beth, who teaches me pottery. She's really chill. We just saw her yesterday at a thrift store. And then I have Angel, who I met. I went to high school with her, and we had mutual friends in high school. We saw each other all the time. And I think the reason me and her kind of get along so well is because of the shit we got put through from that friend group. We were both kind of on the receiving end of some pretty horrible bullshit. Personally, that's in my opinion. So we talked about that a lot and can really relate to each other. Also, we're both fucking gingers, so we're cut from the same cloth. We all came from one mutant all along the line.
Just come together.
Yeah, we all came from one loin.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pros that I have with a lot of these people are they're really accepting, empathetic, and caring, and some cons are we haven't all quite clicked yet. Some are clicked more than others, and we're still a little bit new, and that's the reason why. And yeah, I already said how we met, which was through Derek or just me seeking them out. I should probably mention Madison too. I mean, Madison's a pretty good person, a good friend. I haven't seen her a lot lately because we have such different schedules. And I'm also horrible at talking to people online. So if we never see each other in real life, that puts a damper on things. Anyways, yeah, that's all I got for that friend group. Best friends. I would say they're probably, I don't know, they're probably not best friends, but they're really close to me considering I don't.
And you interact with regularly. And
yeah, they're right now, they're a group of people that I'm putting a lot of effort into because I want to nurture the friendship.
You go out with too, right? And do things with. I feel like I've seen you out at Hogan's again.
Yeah.
With them.
I've been out to Hogan's with Katie and Annie and stuff. I haven't been with Beth yet, or Angel. Well, I went with Angel once or twice, but she doesn't get out much. Go out more, Angel.
Come out with us. We can become friends.
Yeah.
We don't go out much.
Yeah, we don't go out much either. Saving that money. Paying our own wedding. No help.
Gotta do it.
Yep.
It's the thing.
It's the only way we can invite who we want to invite and not to invite who we don't want to invite.
Exactly.
I would say, you and Jared, one of my closest friends.
That's true. I didn't talk about your friends. I just
really
considered them.
With Jared,
I'm surprised. Me and Jared don't agree on politics at all. But we get along. We make fun of the same things. We can make fun of each other and, So we get along because we both like cringy videos and stupid memes.
Well, I mean, isn't there some value to being able to have friends that you just send videos to and you never ever see?
Yes.
I have friends,
That's the online friend kind of thing too.
I have friends that live in town.
But I also
that
like
I literally only talk to by.
Yeah, I also like.
memes.
So I love Jared because when we're together too, like all of us hanging out. I probably should say I almost hate him for this because we'll always just be laughing, and by the end of the time we're hanging out, I'll be like, God, my fucking face hurts. Like,
yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I have a headache because I've been like
also.
smiling the whole time because we're all just cracking each other up.
Jared is actually the funniest member of. I've always considered him the funniest member of my group of friends. And when I meet outsiders who come in, they think I'm funny, and I'm always just like, man, you just have no idea how much I've ripped off from him, or
you guys play off each other.
We play off each other. When we hang out, my face hurts all the time too.
Yeah, that's why it's nice to only hang out with him like once in a while, because
Yeah,
I'm always just like, I can't do it again. Like I need a break. I'm like massaging my cheeks. Like
he's so warped too. I guess there's a part of it. He's so inappropriate in every sense. But it just
nothing's safe. He's like the
works.
South Park of Friends.
Yeah, he is.
I love it. I want to meet him.
Jared Bear.
Jabber.
Yeah.
He sends me more than anybody I know. He sends me more pictures of people's assholes doing weird ass shit. Like he sent me a picture of some girl with like a butterfly painted on her asshole, and he was like, "Look, it's spring," and the woman was like flapping her ass cheeks.
Has he ever sent you cake farts?
No, but I know what that is. I know what that is, and that's a sad thing. Like, I don't want asshole pictures, people. Please don't send those.
Or our Gmail is Friendish Podcast.
Once a week.
Yeah, just DM us on Instagram.
Slide into our
DMs.
DMs.
Slide some a-hole pictures into those DMs.
Ugh. Just a snail trail.
Ugh.
Anyways, your turn.
Okay, so speaking of that, is like this person I met through my ex, Maggie, who I live with now. We've known each other like 5.5, 6-ish years. But when I first met her, we hung out at like it was like a Halloween party at her house. She was drunk. And then it was a Christmas, our Friendsmas that we do every year. And I was super the outsider. I was not supposed to be invited. I was there. And I remember thinking, I was like, that girl's a bitch. Like, she is not cool. I will never be friends with her. And then we moved to Seattle. We moved back. And she got pregnant. And then somehow, like, our friends groups kind of, like, split up. You know, when you're younger and your group's really big and you're always hanging out, it was then people started getting a job and having families, all these things.
Adulting.
So we started hanging out more, and we clicked so quickly because that same thing was like, I think she is so funny, and she makes me laugh till I'm crying all the time. But she's super selfless. She's always offering to do things for people and helping them and finding ways. Like, if someone has an issue, her instant thing is, okay, what do we need to do? How am I going to help you? What's the next plan? And, I mean, she's a surrogate right now. She's giving a baby to
a surrogate?
Yes.
Damn.
Which is amazing. It's such...
Saint Maggie.
And it's pretty great because, like, she didn't think she was going to be able to have kids. She had 2 that are just amazing. They're hilarious. Quick side note. I was playing with her daughter the other day, who's 3. And we were playing with this newspaper game. It was stupid. And I was making her laugh. And she was laughing super hard and then looked at me and goes, fucking damn it, Kaitlin. And I... just had to stop. I thought it was the funniest thing. And then Chaz and Maggie are like, oops. So
I love it when they curse and they don't even
it's
know
like
what they're
so
doing.
inappropriate, but she used it so perfectly. It's like that she thought I was funny. But yeah, our friendship has grown. Like I said, she's super selfless. Same with, like, I needed a place to live. And she's like, hey, we have a basement. Do you want to live with us? And it has been great. Like, I thought that maybe would, like, strain our friendship, but it's brought us even closer. Like, I'm really involved with the kids, and I get to see them every day and talk to her and her husband Chaz, who I'm super close with. We've got Friday the 13th tattoos. He also, like, is super nice and really helpful. Like, if I need anything, I know I can count on Chaz. My car died, he towed me home. You know, like, it's just, I can count on them for anything, which is really great. But our friendship...
I know Chaz, too, is a very good dude.
He is. He's just, and he's super intelligent.
He's a gentle giant.
He is a big guy. And I just want to.
Gentle giant.
He's so great to hug.
He's like KC4.
Oh, cool.
Which I think they know each other also.
Maybe they hug each other. Two gentle giants, loving and hugging.
Two sweet peas.
Big sweet pea from Adventure Time. They are.
But it's friendship. So we have like a we Snapchat every day. The three of us have a Facebook Messenger that's called Happy 90th Birthday Grandma because of this guy's shirt from Queer Eye.
Oh.
So if you ever watch Queer Eye, there's a man who wears a shirt that says Happy 90th Birthday that all of us thought was like
hilarious.
Yeah, so I'll put it on the gram later. And we talk every day and see each other every day, and it's just so, and they're the people that also like encourage me and are always also like, why you have 3 jobs, girl? Take a break. Like, do some stuff for yourself. Like, relax a little bit. But I get to feed them dinner because I live with them now, which...
What's your third job, technically? You cook class...
So
you teach cooking classes.
And work at the store. I teach art classes, and then I work at Jolly Moore's as their pastry chef and making...
You know what? I did not know that part. I think that was the one that I was missing. Was the Jolly Moore part.
Yeah, that one I've been there for 4.5 years.
You make pastries?
Yeah. And
now I need to go
and
there.
Fresh pasta. We should go to brunch one day because they have bottomless mimosas. $7.
Whoa!
And then we'll record about making friends over mimosas.
Right, dude. The only time I've had
doses and mimosas.
We'll have to have, like, if this is okay with you, a Mother's Day episode, because the only time I've ever had mimosas are like a brunch setting. Or mimosas, and actually the only time I've ever drank mimosas was when we were on a trip to Oregon, me and my mom. We ate them in Newport, or we drank them in Newport and watched the seals off the side.
It's breaking my heart. That's the only time you've had mimosas. I drink them on the reg.
Yeah? Well, they're like a summertime drink, aren't they?
So this is when... No, they're an all-the-time drink, girl. It's celebratory. It's a weekend drink. It's a weekend, you drink mimosas. We can do this. And on Mother's Day, we can do it on every Sunday. Whenever you want, I'm in.
Dude, we'll make it. Isn't it just orange juice and...
champagne? But Jolly Moore's, they'll let you pick the juice. So you can get apple juice, pomegranate, cranberry, huckleberry syrup in there, a little pineapple, got some peach. You want juice? Tomato juice. They'll do it. I wouldn't recommend it. They'll do it.
Gross. But yeah. I would do cranberry juice because I love cranberry.
Me too, and it helps with the UTIs.
It does.
That word
have you ever drank like a whole entire bottle of one because you thought that you were getting one? Because I have.
100%. Yes.
I've done it. I was like...
I'm like, can't go to the doctor, don't have insurance.
Yep.
Cranberry juice.
No, I was like, I can't go to the doctor. I don't even have money for like a fucking, what is it called? The deductible. So I'm just going to go drink an entire gallon of cranberry juice.
Yeah.
And I do it. And then I'm like, I feel better, right? Yeah. Just wipe really well.
So let's talk about our food, because I guess...
Food, right from UTIs to food.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I have one more group of friends I gotta shout out, though.
Yeah, tell us more. I want to hear everything.
So I have 2 friends, or 3 friends, really. I didn't write one down, and I'm really sorry about that. But I have 3 friends that are friends that I've kept for a long time, via high school or earlier.
Your leg.
Yes. Sorry. You're good. She needs the pets. I have Sarah, Clayton, and Cullen. I didn't write Cullen's name down, but I've known him. Cullen Butler. Sorry, I shouldn't have said your full name. But
Cullen? Or
Cullen. Cullen.
Cullen Butt.
Cullen Butler, yeah. He's a really, really nice dude. And I've known him since I lived way up in Genesee as a kid. Kind of. Apparently. He says he remembers me. I don't remember him up there. But I do remember him in elementary school and beyond. Anyways. So I have these friends.
He's a sweet dude.
He's really, really nice. He bought me a birthday present of I love enamel pins, and he bought me this zombie girl, and he's like, this looks like you if you were a zombie, and I was like, oh. I'm so flattered because this chick looks so hot for a zombie. Like, I was like, I don't know. Anyways, and he wrote me like a sweet note, which I have on my fridge. The pros of having friends like this are, they're like ones that you've known for a long time. We've always been able to come back from any difficulties we've had, like whether or not it's like a fight or we have a disagreement on something, or we just don't talk for a long period of time, we always just like hit each other up and can come back from it.
Come back because like there's a really close connection, or is it also or a big reason because you guys have known each other so long? So that history that you have, is that what's holding you?
I think part of it is familiarity, and also
that comfort.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also just like getting over we've all kind of talked about. I really haven't had any difficulties with Colin, but Sarah and Clayton, I can say we've had difficulties in the past, whether or not it was a fight or something, or a difference in opinion that was like, to one of us, like me sometimes, I take too personally, and we just come back from it because we get over our shit and we realize like we're fucking adults and we need to be more mature about the situation. It's just like, what do we value more, the friendship or the opinion or the fight, or like who's right? You know, it's like it comes back to that, like we just care about each other and more than whatever we were arguing about.
Yeah.
And I guess the only con I have is like the past. Like it's been really, like I said, it's been really tempting for me to drop everyone I've known from high school or in the past, and I've been really trying to kind of excommunicate those people from my life, because not out of anything specifically that they've done, it's just out of more of a personal mental health thing.
Yeah, and having that history.
Yeah, because it's not that they necessarily did me wrong or anything, but just looking at them or like being around them, and I realize that it's just, I can't help but think about it or bring it up, and it's really unhealthy. And until I can figure out a better way to get around that mentality, I just need to like be away from these people and just kind of like learn to forget it better. And I know it's like been 6 years since high school, so I should probably be over some of the shit that I went through, and like it's really cringy and stuff that I'm not. I actually have been doing a lot better though, because I don't have Facebook, and so there's not the temptation to check up on people, there's not the temptation to like stalk people, which is like hard to admit that you do. It's really hard to admit that you're like that shitty ass person that checks up on people.
Yeah, I definitely
do. It's really helped me out, and yeah, but like I said, these people, even though we were friends in high school and we've all changed a lot. We've changed a lot. And we're still friends even after our big changes.
Yeah.
So.
And that says a lot. I mean, that you guys have made it through those things, like all of that. And
I can tell that these people like really care about me, which is really nice.
You pretty gifts.
Yeah, Sarah, stop spending money on me, girl. Like, you don't need to spend money on me to be my friend. In fact, I'll spend money on you. Come over here and I'll buy you dinner. Like, I don't know.
I also
my time with you is more important to me than gifts.
I like that.
And I like experiences. So having that time and going through an experience with someone is better than
let's go to a movie.
Something. Yeah.
Let's go make a memory.
I forgot to mention that one of my very closest friends, 21 years, is also gotten a job with me. He starts like next week, so I'm also very excited about that.
Who's it again? Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have successfully finally helped one of my friends get a job at my
Shout out to Patrick. You're pretty hot for a married Republican.
He is a married Republican, and he is a good-looking man.
Yeah. It's because he's a ginger, you know?
And seeing if this is true. I don't believe it.
He is.
No, he's a good-looking man.
We saw him the same day that we booked our venue for our wedding.
That's right, we did.
And I was like, oh.
His brother is
and then his wife came up right behind him and was like, what?
His brother is also very attractive.
Is he single?
They're twins.
They're twins. That's why they're both very attractive.
Yeah.
But is he single?
I don't know. I don't know if the brother isn't, to be honest.
You know what?
I don't know that.
Not to like stereotype Republicans or anything, but as soon as you say that you're like a chef and that you'll be in the kitchen, I'm sure he'll just be like, sploosh.
Perfect.
He's a dog lover though, so I know that.
She's got a dog. It's a cutie.
There you go.
I
What's your dog's name and what's
I'm
the
just
breed
saying,
again?
Like, they're both like good looking, strong jawed
Military types.
Military guys both serve, but they also both have.
They're veterans.
They both love kitties and puppies. They both love dogs and cats. So
you just get me all hot and bothered over here and haven't seen them.
Like,
They've got magnificent beards.
They might have a skewed political belief, but they do love cats and dogs.
That's all I need apparently, because I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, we'll show you pictures later.
All right.
No. What's your dog's name and the breed?
His name is Murray, and I don't know what he is. He's a mutt that I adopted, and he's so cute.
I bet you he's like...
I think he has some Brittany Spaniel in him, and I will post a picture, and all of our fans and listeners can tell me what he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Many.
He looks almost like he's got a little tiny bit of lab.
Maybe,
I know,
but he's not very big. Here's a refresher. God. Yeah, so cute. And he's just a little cuddle bud. So let's talk about our food that we made for us to eat earlier and why we made it. And
okay, yeah, you first. You first, girl.
So I made a banh mi that Bree ate, and I think she loved it.
Banh mi.
So I'm going to quickly break it down. Banh mi's. You need a perfect baguette where it's soft.
It's a sandwich,
inside.
by the way.
Yeah, Vietnamese sandwich.
All of these are... We have pictures on.
We'll be posting pictures and recipes on Instagram.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We'll do that after the show for mine. I don't know if Bree's done hers yet.
I have not.
But you got to have that crispy, crunchy crust, soft baguette, and then you throw down your sriracha mayo and green onions, followed by cilantro, cucumbers, jalapenos, pickled daikon and radish and carrot. Woohoo! This wine.
Delicious vegetables.
And then your choice of protein. So if it was Hope, I'd make her tofu. Girl's a vegetarian. And I made pork, though. And for my other friends, whatever I'll bend over backwards to make them what they want.
Pork was good.
And
I thought it was chicken because I thought the chicken had soaked up the soy sauce that you marinated it in. So that's why I thought it was chicken. But you said it was pork. And I was like, okay.
Yep, and it's my favorite thing, and it's kind of like my thing I make to impress people. Like, it's not hard to do, but we can't get it around here. So
tasty.
Most people haven't had it, so I make it, and they're just like, this is so good. Plus, for me, it's like a comfort food. Like, I could eat one of these every day. So
could you, if you wanted to, say you wanted to eat it healthier, like you're on a diet, could you just do the entire thing and make it into a salad or like
yeah, I've done it over, like you were saying, like shredded cabbage, or I've done it on rice if you're okay with eating rice, or just eat it with just even more vegetables and a little meat. It's so good,
like a stir fry almost.
Yeah, you don't need the bread. The bread is good. But
the bread was really good with it. It
I
definitely is like a
I
really
love gluten.
Me too.
So that's super good, but yeah, I've done it, or lots of times I'll eat one, and then I want seconds, but I don't want to eat the bread, so I just make a plate of all the veggies and the meat.
Yum.
And go to town.
You could even put some on a cracker, I bet, and it'd taste just fine.
Dude, yeah.
Anything. Put it on anything.
What'd you
Slurp it off your boyfriend's tummy. What?
That's what they're going to do with the other half of that sandwich, and I'm going to leave before then.
No.
No.
Okay, I'm putting it on Instagram.
Gross.
Tell me what you made.
Okay, you know what? Yummy. I'm not creative, and I'm not a chef, but I know what I know, and I made bean dip. Because
that's okay.
Bean dip is like a really easy, simple thing to make for your friends that are like, hey, I'm coming over, and you're like, oh, shit. And I didn't want to order pizza, which is what I would normally do if I had like a planned friendship meeting, or I mean a hangout, So I just made your basic bean dip, which is first layer beans, and I put some jalapenos in that beans, and
that guac though.
The guacamole, it was the next layer, and I put a pretty thick layer of it because I do like guac, and then the next layer I put cheese. A big layer of cheese because I love cheese, and then I mixed in with the cheese tomatoes and cilantro. So it was a pretty basic bean dip, and I only made 2 small dishes, so I didn't feel like I needed like the 7 layers thing going on. It was just, yeah.
And it was so good, and it is a perfect thing to eat when you're just hanging out with friends, because you don't have to like have a whole meal, but you're just like snacking and munching and hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out, watching Netflix or doing whatever you're doing.
But Yeah, so we'll post those on Instagram. We'll get you the recipes and our photos, so check those out. Make them. Tell us if your friends liked them. Tell us if you liked them.
Yeah, you know, Super Bowl's coming up in a couple months. I know that they've already got Valentine's Day shit out, so Super Bowl is coming up.
Yeah, you guys will have to do Super Bowl dishes.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't a bean dip like a pretty basic?
Yeah, but we can do other things too.
Yeah, maybe like wings or what else?
Oh yeah, we gotta discuss when we're gonna record. We'll do that
Yeah,
later.
we'll have to figure that
we'll gotta
out,
figure
yeah.
that because we'll be watching the game.
We'll be figuring that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so check that out.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna call it a day. on
Yeah, I
this.
mean, I'd like to shout out one more time, like, check us out on timespentpoorly.fun, where this YouTube video will still be up later. I know it's live right now, but
And I feel lame saying this, but thanks for all the people that have liked us.
yeah,
And
dude.
commented on our stuff. And
Yeah.
have been following and subscribing. It's really, it's very exciting.
Send us some. Tell us about your best friends. I want to know how you met your best friend. Like, what you think what are some good attributes for a best friend?
Yeah.
And send us your information about that on
Instagram, our Gmail.
Our Gmail is friendishpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up, yo. Like, we want to hear from you guys, and we want to, like, be your friend, please. Please let us into your lives.
And remember, you can find this show and more at timespentpoorly.fun on Spotify, iTunes, and the Stitcher app, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are out there, and it's easy to find it.